There's a good chance that you've heard about the Power Glove. It's that precursor of sorts to the Wiimote for the NES, with a sensor bar that is an absolute disaster to try and set up. It comes with these Velcro adhesive things that you can use to hold it in place, but do you really think I want this stuck to my TV forever? However, if you can manage to set it up, the go-to game is usually Super Glove Ball, released as part of the Power Glove gaming series. It's okay, nothing that great, nothing that horrible, but it's also playable with the normal controller, making you wonder why you wasted your time setting up the Power Glove in the first place. Because really, playing a game with the Power Glove is more of a chore than anything. Before it will work properly, you have to enter codes that match the type of game you've selected. There's a code for racing games, there's a code for platformers, a code for flying games. There's even a code that's recommended for when you're navigating menus. So you have to enter that, get through the menu, enter the code for playing the game again, and then the next time you want to enter a menu, enter the menu code again, and then back to the game code. Am I playing a game or am I typing an essay out here? It's a nightmare and just makes your gaming time more stressful rather than fun. But wait just a second, if Glove Ball was part of the Power Glove gaming series, then surely that must mean that there were other games designed specifically for the Power Glove, right? Well yeah, actually there were. In fact, there was one, just one other one, called Bad Street Brawler. You know, a beat-em-up made specifically for the Power Glove, maybe this is where all of the effort went. Maybe this is the game that will make owning a Power Glove actually worth it. Or not. Most likely not. Well, as you should always do before you begin playing a retro game, let's read the instruction manual, in which there is not one single mention of the Power Glove in it. Also, the manual is vertically oriented, unlike 99% of other NES manuals, which is pretty weird. But really, when I played through this game for the first time, I was very curious to see in just what ways a beat-em-up would incorporate a controller like the Power Glove. You'd think there'd be all sorts of potential there, and yet when I turned the last page and saw absolutely no mention of it in the book, I couldn't believe it. Well, considering even the manual doesn't really seem to want us using the Power Glove to play this game, I guess we'll just set it aside for now and use the regular controller. So with that, this is Bad Street Brawler. Yeah, let this screen set the tone for the rest of the game. It really doesn't get better from here. So before we get into the real action, we're given a chance to unleash some of our moves onto an unsuspecting punching bag. B unleashes a punching attack, A does a sweep kick, and pressing both A and B at the same time does, an ear twist? Ah yes, that's right, one of the classic beat-em-up moves. It's not a true beat-em-up game unless it has an ear twist, as I always say. And that's it! Those are all three moves that you have access to. And just who are we going to be unleashing these hilarious attacks on? Well, according to the instructions manual, we're going to be fighting against law-breaking crooks, thugs, and circus renegades. What, did the life of corny entertainment just send them over the edge? And why is it the Banana Man's job here to put them in their place? Did anyone even consider calling the police? Oh wait, we're apparently fighting the police. And gorillas as well? And basketball players. Is there anyone that we're not beating up? I thought we were supposed to be ridding the streets of crime, not causing it. But putting the moral ambiguity of things aside, let's actually talk about how the game works. Enemies come at you and it's your job to use your attacks to beat them up. You only get about 100 seconds per stage though, so you'll quickly realize that defeating every single enemy you encounter is essentially a death sentence. Instead, the winning strategy is that you should actually run past as many enemies as possible until eventually the screen stops scrolling. At this point, you'll be required to defeat an enemy or two before you can proceed, so repeat this process a couple of times and eventually you'll reach the end of the stage boss. Punch, kick, or twist their ears into submission and congratulations! You're now 1/15th of the way through the game. You'll then get a scene showing the guy throwing all of those dangerous objects he picked up into a trash bin. Just imagine if someone had got their hands on that basketball. Ooh. Or maybe what's really going on here is that you're the real criminal all along and saving everything for later. Wouldn't that be a twist? Nah, this game sucks too much for a cool twist like that, but we can dream. With level 1 down, that means that there's 14 left to go, and we're once again given a chance to practice some of our moves, except now, all of our moves are different. Welcome to the most annoying gimmick of the game! In every single stage, you are given a different set of 3 moves that you must use and have no control over deciding. This means that after getting used to the controls and how things work in one stage, you're immediately thrown a curveball and forced to relearn how to play the game at the beginning of the next stage. A vast majority of the frustration that you'll encounter in this game will just come from feeling that you've finally got everything figured out, and then when starting the next level, it will feel like you're back to square one again. And repeat that 15 times before you finally reach the end. It's like imagine in Super Mario Bros. If every single time you started a new stage, the controls had been rearranged. And to top it all off, in classic NES fashion, this is a game where if you die too many times, you will be sent all the way back to the beginning of the game and forced to start again. So good luck getting used to everything and figuring the game out before that happens, because I can tell you, I sure didn't get it on my first try. But just for fun, let's look at a few of the different attacks you'll be forced to use. Anytime you're given a basic punch or kick as an attack in a stage, you can at least have a little bit of a sigh of relief knowing that, while not the strongest attacks available, they are somewhat reliable and easy to use. In Stage 2, however, you actually get some of the best attacks in the game, including the trip technique, which is my absolute favorite. Just walk up to any enemy and press the B button, and they will instantly melt into the floor. Keep mashing that B button and you've essentially stun-locked the enemy to death. Not exactly sure what's going on here though, but you know what? Not gonna ask. The point is that any stage you have access to the trip technique is one you can pretty reliably get to the end of without too much trouble, but how reaching down, grabbing someone's ankles works in terms of tripping them doesn't seem all that efficient, but again, it's a great attack, so I think we'll just leave it at that. In Stage 3, you get the Stooge hit, which is like a super dumb attack, just again, adding to the completely non-serious vibe you get from this game. I have no idea what exact angle they were aiming for, but it's slow, it sucks, not one you're going to want to use too often. In Stage 4, you get the Bull Ram, which half the time when you use it, it doesn't even seem to hit the enemies, so if you have anything better available, you'll definitely be relying on that attack. In Stage 6, when you reach the boss area, you'll be standing around, waiting for them to appear, and then suddenly a motorcycle will zoom in from off screen and crush you to death. So that's pretty bad, but once you know what's coming, you can get ready, jump kick them in the face, one hit KO them, and that is actually pretty satisfying. In Stage 9, the boss can only be defeated by lifting them above your head and spinning them around using the aeroplane spin, but you know, overall, with the confusing attack system combined with the boring level design, the repetitive 2 tracks of music, which play throughout the whole game, unappealing graphics, and just sometimes unfair difficulty, Bad Street Brawler is actually one of the worst games I have played through on the NES, and I'm convinced that they knew this game was awful when they made it, and named it for what it literally was, a Bad Street Brawler. But now, even after having gone through pretty much the entire game, you're no doubt wondering, just what the heck does this all have to do with the Power Glove? Well, I guess we have it set up anyway, so we might as well find out. The reason that there's nothing about the Power Glove printed in the Bad Street Brawler instruction manual is because it can actually be found inside of the Power Glove's own instruction manual instead. Because yeah, that makes a whole ton of sense. Bad Street Brawler is apparently a special game where the Power Glove works with it even without entering a code. Yet all I get from this banana guy is uncontrollably spazzing out and not responding at all to what I'm trying to get him to do. I try entering different codes and just nothing seems to work. I don't know if the Power Glove is just old and unresponsive at this point, or maybe it doesn't like being used in the basement with radon levels over 9,000, but good luck ever getting the Power Glove to work as intended, because I sure couldn't. The one and only reason you would ever subject yourself to the torture of playing Bad Street Brawler with the Power Glove is because it allows you to use a special 4th attack, which is otherwise inaccessible. Punching your glove towards the screen is supposed to instantly obliterate the currently targeted enemy, including bosses. This means that levels could theoretically be easier if you save this attack to unleash during the end of level boss fight, but good luck even making it to them in the first place if you're playing with the Power Glove. What you actually can do though is enter program code 14, which allows you to turn the Power Glove on its side and play with the built-in D-pad and A and B buttons, essentially turning the Power Glove into an ordinary controller. Then when you want to activate the special attack, I enter program code 7 and hold to the left. And it seems like before long he eventually pulls off the special attack. But there you have it, everyone. That's everything you need to know about one of the worst NES games I have beaten. It's part of the Power Glove gaming series, and yet the glove essentially acts as little more than DLC, which allows you to unleash an incredibly strong attack against your enemies. But otherwise, it's just a subpar street brawler, which is appropriately labeled as bad. So hope you enjoyed learning about that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I hope to see you next time when we tackle something different. So thanks, and see you later, everyone.